What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Coffee and Headphones. My name is Caleb,
My name is Trevor.
and today we are here to give our playing predictions for the two games that are happening tonight and the two games that are happening tomorrow. Real quick before we do that, though, if you're new here, take a second to look around, subscribe, leave a like, whatever you so please to do. This is a podcast where brothers talk about brother things, and today we are talking about basketball.
Basketball.
Okay. Without further ado, Trevor, who do you want to start with?
Let's start with the first game of today.
Okay, Hawks Heat.
Hawks Heat, baby.
Let's hear it. What you got to say?
Udonis Haslam's going to carry the Heat all the way.
Man, shout out to UD. What a game. That was like his fourth highest scoring game of his career.
Of his career. My
That's
man was
crazy.
hitting threes and everything.
Oh, wow.
No, I think the Heat are going to pull it out. I do like the Hawks. I like Trae Young better than most people probably, but realistically, I think Jimmy, Bam, the shooters that they have, it's a little bit more well-balanced team. They play a little bit more of a rough brand of basketball, and I think that they're going to edge out the Hawks tonight for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I agree. I do ultimately have the Heat winning tonight. You look at the playoff series last year between the Heat and the Hawks. The Hawks are also in the play-in last year. The Heat were the one seed. Remember that?
I do.
Um, they lost PJ Tucker and fell down quite a bit,
Fall from
but
grace.
but I still think, you look at that series last year, Trae Young was brutal against Miami. I'm with you. I actually really do like Trae Young. I know a lot of people don't. Since college, he's been someone who I love to watch. But last year, he got absolutely hounded by specifically Jimmy. Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
dominated him. And the one game that the Hawks did win in the playoff series last year, Jimmy didn't play. So you look at just those results last year, the Hawks haven't really improved. They did get DeJounte Murray, and
Yeah,
maybe he will take some of that ball pressure
he
off of
will.
Trae Young.
He
But you
will.
look at Miami, and they still have Jimmy, who's one of the best perimeter defenders. Kyle Lowry, I know he's old, but he always, well, not always, but he does show up sometimes in the playoffs, and he'll always give his all on defense at the very least. You have
I
Gabe
think they play
Vincent.
good enough zone
Yeah.
defense that they'll
Yeah,
be okay.
their zone is really good. And the
Yeah.
Hawks don't play five out very often. They have John Collins who can play five
They
and
have
he
Clint
can shoot,
Capella.
but they have Capella and they like to play Capella with Trae Young a lot. And
Yeah.
when you do that, you can't space the floor as well. Trae Young's not having a great year efficiently or anything, but I see this game being not that close, to be honest with you. And I see the Heat locking up the seventh seed to take on Boston in a rematch of the conference finals from last year in the first
I'd
round.
say it's going to be a close game. I do.
You
And
think
by that,
so?
I mean within 10 points.
That would
I
be
think
great.
it'll be pretty close. But I think the Heat are going to win for sure.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then the Hawk, do you want to talk about just the games tonight first and then move on? Or do you want to talk about the whole tournament, like who the Hawks will play next?
Yeah, who
I
will the
guess
Hawks
we
play?
should we should do the first games first because then the seedings will be
Okay. Yeah,
set
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
down with that. All
So the
right.
next game today is the Lakers and Timberwolves. Now, now the Timberwolves chose the best possible time to completely fall apart.
Oh my word. The Lakers chose all season but got it together recently, and the T-Wolves were
Yeah.
like, nah, today's the day.
Total opposite, bro. Rudy Gobert effect in full swing. Who punches their teammate on the bench? Like
Rudy
you
Gobert
see,
is and has been trash. Okay.
it's terrible. He's been worse than Walker Kessler, one of the many assets that the Jazz got for him this past offseason. The Timberwolves are in a bad place right now. They are without Nas Reed as well for the rest of the
Yes.
season. They're
Yes.
without Jalen McDaniels now because homie
He like
decided to punch a wall.
pick a fight with the wall, fractured his hand.
It's tough. And against the Lakers, you're going to need interior defense. AD scores down low. LeBron's best in the paint. They have slashers. It's going to be tough for the Timberwolves, but how do you see this game playing out?
The Lakers will win this game.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want them to. I thought the Lakers could have won with a fully healthy, fully mentally prepared Timberwolves team.
Yeah.
Now I definitely think the Lakers are going to win. And I think you told me earlier they've been 12-5 since D'Lo.
Yeah, they're 12-5 with D'Lo. They're 16-7 in total since the All-Star break.
So D'Lo, this is like a revenge game.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Lakers are going to win. The T-Wolves dropped the ball significantly. Rudy Gobert is trash, so it doesn't even matter that he's not playing. But yeah, Lakers are going to win.
I'm gonna do a compilation at the end of the season, clipping every time you call someone trash. I think
Okay.
we're at about 8 different players so far.
I think
But
I've been right about most of them.
I think Rudy Gobert is valid. He won't be there at all, so he's not even going to be traveling with the team, from what
How
I read.
dumb do you have to be?
Pretty dumb. Pretty like honestly, this is a team and organization that gave up so much for you. They
For
value
him.
you higher than anyone else. Remember, the Bulls were in trade talks for Gobert. Thank God we didn't give up that kind of
Y'all won
package.
that trade.
Yeah. But this team, like this organization, gave up 4 first-round picks, Walker Kessler, and several other players for this one guy who has let them down all season. And then when they needed him the absolute most, he could contend with AD in theory. When they needed him the most, he let them down. So bad. So it's gonna be a heavy carry from Ant and Cat. The problem is Cat was very inconsistent in the playoffs last year, and he was really bad his first year, the Jimmy year. I think in the play-in tournament last year, the Timberwolves were the 7 seed, and they lost the first game. Cat had a bad game, and then won the second game, and Cat had a great game. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So we'll see if it's a good or bad game for Cat. He's been pretty good since coming back from injury, but I'm looking at Anthony Edwards. I don't think anyone on the Lakers can guard him. He's a menace, bro. I love that dude. I love how he steps up to the plate in big moments. He's been dealing with injuries too, but he's gonna play if he's even 20% ready to go. Ultimately, I do think that the Lakers will win this game because Ant he'll have to do a hard carry, and I just don't see that. I mean, I could see it. I think this game will be closer than the Hawks Heat game. I think this will be one of those last couple minutes of the game you have to be watching type things, which I'm ready for. But LeBron has been rejuvenated a little bit since D'Lo came over, and like you said, D'Lo revenge game, Malik Beasley revenge game too, low key. And Anthony Davis has been really good recently. So it'll be a tall task for the Wolves. So ultimately, I do have to go with the Lakers.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So the next matchup in the East is the Bulls and Raptors. And this game is in Toronto on Wednesday. I unfortunately will not be able to make it as much as I would love to. This is the proclaimed No Dunks Bowl with the Raps and the Bulls.
Yeah.
And this is definitely the game I'm most excited to watch because both of these teams have disappointed me greatly this year. They're my two favorite teams, but they've both been 12-10 since the All-Star break, if that counts for anything. Pat Bev effect is real. And yeah, what do you think before I get into my predictions?
It's going to be really, this was the hardest for me for sure. I think they're evenly matched. I think they can both play really well or drop the ball on any given night. I think it's going to come down to mental preparedness. Siakam's really, really, really good.
Yes.
But I think Pat Bev may give the Bulls the edge. I really do. As long as Vooch plays well. Okay, so here's my thing. You got to remember who the Bulls have. Like prior to this year, okay? Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic. All three of these guys have been all-stars.
Yep.
All three of these guys had at one point really good careers or really promising careers. And now they added Pat Bev, who's that defensive presence. I mean, the Bulls have suffered with a lot of injuries this year. Fred VanVleet has sold all year. I expect that he continues to do it.
I can test that.
Nah, my
Freddie
man's
has
still,
been actually really good the last 2 months.
my man has sold. I'd say the Bulls barely win.
You think the Bulls barely win? Okay, so this one was tough for me, but I'm trying to think logistically. The Raptors won the series against the Bulls this season. The
Mm-hmm.
Raptors are probably the worst matchup for the Bulls out of all the playing teams because of their size. The Bulls do not have size. We haven't for a while. We have Vooch, who's big, but he historically struggles against Jakob Poeltl pretty bad. And we have Pat Will, who can stick with Siakam, stick with Scotty. Um, but the thing is, Zach LaVine is going to be the key here. And there was a time where I would say that and have a lot of optimism. Right
Yeah,
now is not that time.
yeah.
Um, Zach has been good, last 3 months. He started the season off rough, but he's been good. I think he was 50, 40, 90 in March. And the problem is he and the Bulls in general suffer from lack of effort a lot. If we had given more effort throughout the year, we would not be in the 10 seed.
But it's
Pat,
playoff time.
it's playoff time and playing Pat from last year. You remember him crying and celebrating after the Timberwolves won their game. I hope he brings that energy here. We do have a someone very valuable who you forgot to mention, Caruso. I think that he will do a good job on Freddie. The problem is the Bulls have good perimeter defenders, but the Raptors have good interior players. So I'm going to be honest. I do see the Bulls losing this game. I think this could be a blowout even, but I'm gonna say it'll be close, and I think I'm gonna have a wild prediction and say overtime loss for the Bulls, with the Raptors winning and going on to the next part of the tournament.
I was thinking this would be an overtime game.
Yeah,
I really was, but I
the
think
Raptors
it'll
and
be.
Bulls have played more overtime games against each other than any other team in the last 3 years.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The more you know. So you're saying the Raptors, even though you're wearing Chicago Bulls stuff.
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
All
I
right.
am.
All right. All right. Here is probably the game that I'm most excited for. I'm excited for the Bulls Raptors a lot, but this
Mhm.
team I've loved to watch every second of this year. I'm so glad they have this opportunity. But the Thunder Pelicans, sir.
Yeah, that'll be
What do you
so
say?
fun, man. So for me, I'm riding that Thunder high. I think we all are, right? Shea has been just so unbelievable this year. Um, my man's eating a biscuit. I can't even lie. I was gonna try to not notice it, but my man's just munching down on a biscuit right now. Yeah, say something. Show the camera.
Camera on.
Oh man. Yeah, but I think that the Pelicans are hosting, right? They're the 9 seed,
Mm-hmm.
but Zion's not playing. Um,
Correct.
Last year, the Pelicans came in through the playing tournament, I think as the 10 seed, won both games, and took the Suns to 6 in the first round. The BI coming out party in a way. Uh, but unfortunately, they don't have Jose Alvarado either, which is a big loss, especially against a perimeter centric team like the Thunder. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Shea will continue his amazing season into the postseason and win this game for the Thunder. Josh Giddey's been great. I'm excited to see how all these young guys perform in the first postseason. Shea's been there twice, but it's been a while. Josh Giddey, it's his first time. Lou Dort, I think it's his first time. Um,
Second.
no, yeah, he
Didn't
was
he
he
lock
was with the
Harden up
Chris
in the
Paul team.
playoffs?
Yeah. You're right. He was part of the Chris Paul team. But I'm
Um,
really excited for this game.
so I'm going with the Thunder all the way, baby. I love the Thunder. They've been fun to watch. I love Jalen Williams. I think they have a lot
Yes.
of talent, a lot of young guys that can
A lot
run.
of
I don't
Canadians.
I don't see them winning a series. I'm gonna be honest. But I can see them beating the Pelicans, especially without Jose, which is like the Pat Bev or the Alex
Yeah.
Caruso of that
Yeah.
team. But he can shoot better than both of those guys.
Yeah.
He
He
dropped
can.
like 30 plus on the Nuggets, so that's how I know.
Yeah.
Um, Bi, I love him. I don't think he's enough to carry the rest of the Pelicans team.
I don't think he's enough either. Now the Thunder don't really have a good defensive matchup for BI.
No,
But I think there's only so much that one man can do.
they're
And
going to outrun for the
McCollum's
team.
been disappointing this year.
Yeah.
He's still a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not meant to play point guard. I don't think it's brought down his game overall. So I see Lou Dort locking him up pretty easily, to be honest.
The
But
the Thunder the Thunder are winning this game.
I see the Thunder winning. So let's just move on to then the 8-9 matchup would be the Wolves and the Thunder. Who you got for the final playoff
The
position?
Thunder.
You think the Thunder?
The Thunder. Yeah.
Why? Run me through it.
Even though they have a worse record. Well, Rudy will be back, right? He's only one game.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Rudy will be back. So they got Rudy, Ant, Cat, and then a lot of good pieces. Kyle Anderson. But the Thunder are just that underdog team that you can see winning any game.
Yeah.
Like San Diego State this year, right?
Yeah.
Just ran through. It's very similar. I think if they're hot, if they can shoot well, they have Shea, who's one of the best floor generals in the league right now. He's going to consistently get to the line. And I don't think they don't have the size at all, but they have the athleticism to match up with the T-Wolves. And honestly, if we're going like bucket for bucket, the Thunder may edge it out. I don't think they'll beat them defensively by any means.
Right.
I don't. And
right.
Shea can get into the paint against any big man and score 30 a night. So Rudy Gobert, Cat, like whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The matchups are really going to be outside of those three, and it's going to be the bench. And you can see, I've seen the Thunder's bench get hot so many times this year, score more than their starting five. I don't know how many times that's happened with the Timberwolves.
Yeah, here's my problem with the Thunder once they get to that matchup. I think the Pelicans will be fine, but if Rudy's back, especially, you have Cat in there. You have Ant, who's a slasher. The Thunder don't have size. They have Poku, but that's it. They traded away Muscala. They don't have any real rim protection. And Ant feast in the paint. He can shoot too. Like he's a great 3-level scorer, but I
But
think
Ant and Shea are going to cancel each other out.
I don't know because Ant also does it on the defensive end. I mean, Shea does too. Don't get me wrong. Shea's an underrated defender, but Ant, you see his last game of the season, he had 4 blocks and 4 steals. So I think if you have Ant and Cat trying to feast inside, the Timberwolves will at the very least put up a fight. I'm gonna give them the edge because they have the vet leadership. They've been there. Mike Conley is a great person to have in the playoffs. And he'll steady the ship. But the Thunder, to your point, they're playing with found money at this point. So anything that they do from this point out is a successful season. They've already had a great season, making it to the postseason. So I'm really excited
them to make it.
No
one
I'm
expected the Mavericks to
especially yeah, that's crazy. But especially like when Chet went down in preseason, you're like, oh, there's a number 2 pick. They're gonna be tanking again this year. But that Shea really put the team on his back, and Giddy had a great year, like all around. So I think, and J Dub, of course, no one expected him to be this good as a rookie. So I think,
thank you, J Dub.
Yeah, J Dubs, you picked him up on fantasy, right? Yeah, good call. I think the Timberwolves Thunder game will be maybe the best of the play-in tournament. I'm really excited for it, but I'm gonna go with the Wolves.
Okay. It's valid. So we have the same winners except the Raptors Bulls game and then the Thunderwolves and T-Wolves, right?
Yeah. So who are we gonna go with for this Hawks game? I think if it's the Bulls, here, I'll be quick. I think if it's the Bulls will win. I think if it's the Raptors will win.
I think the Heat. Oh wait, the Hawks play that team.
Yeah.
I think either of those teams are beating the Hawks. I'd agree with
You
that.
think so?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think yeah, I mean I don't the Hawks need to do something, man. They
yeah.
they plateaued. They were in the conference finals 2 years ago, but they've been
I'd say
really
the game
bad
I'm
since.
least sure about is the Bulls Raptors game though. Like
Yeah,
I feel
that's
pretty
fair.
confident in my prediction and all the other ones. I mean anything can happen, right? But least confident Bulls Raptors.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, we're more or less playing this game to see who will get waxed by the Bucks in the first round. You know, the Bulls did take a game from them last playoffs. Don't forget.
Waxed by the Bucks and waxed by the Nuggets.
Yeah, yeah. I think a Thunder Nuggets series would be really fun
Be
though.
very fun to watch.
Yeah, I would love that.
And the Nuggets somehow would make it a close series.
Yeah, they'll get down 3-1 and then come back.
I think it'd be a closer series than if they played any of these other teams, honestly. That's just how the Nuggets operate. I hope the T-Wolves win, though. Jokic would eat. I,
Okay, would.
I have
Brother,
no
I have
doubt.
47.
Brother. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Well,
that'd be so fun. We'll be back very soon with a playoff predictions video after the play-in tournament is over. But in the meantime, let us know your predictions for the play-in tournament, and we will see at 7:30 tonight, whenever we tip off, who was right and who was wrong. Trevor, anything you'd like to say to the people?
nope. Enjoy the playoffs.
Enjoy the playoffs. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.